time. I'm noticing that this room is rather cold and drafty, just like Minnesota, so it fits in perfectly. I really appreciated that I'm not the first gay performer up here, or at least performers with LGBTQ themes, because I think one thing that's exciting about our experience is our coming out experience. And I talk a lot to my students, I talk a lot to other individuals, that coming out means revealing to someone else something that's private about yourself, that you think by revealing to them will make your relationship stronger. And so one of my favorite parts about being gay is all of my coming out stories. So, you're going to get one of those tonight. Back in the summer of 2013, I was at a workshop in North Carolina where I was an intern. I was one of the grunts. I was doing the hard labor of the workshop. And we came in, I already knew a bunch of the individuals who were going to be involved, and we were all having a good time for the early part of the day, and that night, my friend Zach, who's in charge, he's the head intern, sits us all down, and we're having a good time kind of sorting out the week, getting ready for the first week of events, and then the two subsequent events, or subsequent weeks of work. It was a big, huge 3-week workshop, and we had a lot to do. But in the middle of Zach's normally very pleasant and very cheerful attire, he gets very serious all of a sudden. He closes his computer, and Zach says, "I want it to be understood that there will be no inappropriate relationships between staff and students. Is that understood?" And the 7 interns say, "Oh, yes, of course, absolutely, Zach." And so he turns on his computer again, and he goes back to being his normal cheerful self, and we didn't think anything of it. Well, we've got another 2 days of setting this thing up before students start to arrive. And we decide, as a joke, that we have some sexual urges that might need to be resolved before this. And there's a really unique position at this workshop where students of the university who are there can come in for the 3 days of preparation beforehand, help set up, and they get a significant discount for the 3-week workshop, at which point they are a student. After the 3 weeks, then they return to being an intern, and they help us tear everything down and put it all away. One of these students, for his own innocence sake, since we are recording tonight, is named Will. Will is one of these interns who's going to be with us for 3 days, then turns into a student, so he's no longer off limits. And the other 7 of us decide that, well, we're just going to take our sexual urges on Will. All of us. Gay, straight, bi, doesn't matter. All of us. And he's okay with this joke. We continue on, and as we progress into the week, Will starts to continue the joke. Because I continue the joke. I'm a brand new gay, just budding into my gaydom, and I don't quite know how to handle myself. But he continues the joke, and he says, "Well, Steve, I really, really missed when this was the thing, and then you were going to do all these things to me." Now, the workshop has now started. Will is a student. He is off limits, because we will not have inappropriate relationships with students. So I cannot retaliate said flirtation, even in jest. He's like, "Oh, Steve, I so miss thinking about what we would do together if we were alone." I said, "Yes, Will, I know, but you have to understand you need to go to class right now." Week 1, it was funny. By week 2, though, I thought maybe he's trying to tell me something. I assumed Will was straight because he sent off that vibe, but he would meet me in private spaces or have side conversations, or the occasional brush by me where he would touch my leg or something. And I thought, maybe I'm reading this wrong. Maybe after 3 weeks, I'm about to get lucky. This would be my first time, again, just a budding gay. It would be my first experience like that. Well, after 2 weeks, I was really confused. So I pull his buddy Mark aside and say, Mark, I don't know what's going on. Is Will gay? Is he questioning? Is he bi? What's going on? And Mark says, I don't really know. I know he explored with some guys, but I don't think that's the way he flies. And now I'm feeling kind of stupid. But I now have assurance that this is purely a game of gay chicken. And here's the difference. I know it's a game of gay chicken, or I am not playing chicken, or will not be at some point. He doesn't know this yet. So week 3 goes by, and he continues his flirtation. Oh, I just wish we could be alone. Oh, I just wish we had that moment. Oh, I can't wait for this week to be over. And then it's over. At the big, huge party at the end of 3 weeks. He continues this flirtation, and this time I get to confide. And he says, oh, I just can't wait until we find ourselves alone again when we're tearing everything down. And I was like, we can go be alone right now if you really want to. And he's like, yeah, sure. So, but I gotta go check with these other people. I'm like, yeah, of course, it's the end of the workshop, they're leaving tomorrow, I understand. I'll see you tomorrow. So now he's an intern again. Now the workshop's over. And as we're tearing things down, for 2 days, the first 2 days of teardown, we'd be passing by each other, and he would have a load of laundry or things that needed to be sorted or whatever, and I'd say, hey, I'm free a little bit later tonight, and he's like, yeah, I mean, Rachel and I were going to go out, and I'm like, oh yeah, Rachel, of course. Well, by day 2, we were sorting out all the laundry, and for whatever reason, my apartment had been designated the laundry room, and so he brings up all of these sheets, he's bringing up all of these dish rags and everything, and at one point he comes up with a load from Rachel, or with Rachel. And he's got his arms full, and he's like, oh, Steve, if I knew you were going to be in your apartment alone, I wouldn't have brought Rachel with me. And I was like, I don't mind if Rachel's here. So I get off the couch, and I'm kind of doing my little swagger over towards him. He's doing his swagger back towards me, and he's now committed, because again, gay chicken. And we start to get nose to nose, and he turns around and starts to grind up against me. And I put my arms around his waist, and I unbutton the first button of his pants. He freaks out. He jumps away and he says, whoa, whoa, whoa. And I was like, what? I thought you were serious. I don't mind if Rachel's here, and if not, we can go into my room. He's like, yeah, but like, we're doing work. I thought, okay, sure. If you got work to do, go for it. So I sit back down and continue sorting everything I'm supposed to be sorting. Now, this happens a second time. He goes back out. He and Rachel come back in with another load of clothes. He says the exact same thing. Oh, if I still knew you were here, I would have brought Rachel. I was like, I still don't mind if Rachel's here. So I do my swagger, he does his swagger. But this time, I now know what his game's going to be. So not only do I get the first button down, but I get the zipper down and the pants down. He flips the fuck out. Flips the fuck out, jumps like 8 feet in the air, and I was like, dude, I don't got time for this. Either we're going to do it or we're not, otherwise I'm going to go back to work, because we got shit to do. He's like, yeah, I mean, okay. I was winning gay chicken. So he walks back out. Now, day 3, everything is put together. I figure this game is over. We can go and continue being both colleagues and friends in the future. And everybody is saying goodbye. This is supposed to be a really tender moment between a bunch of individuals who worked very hard for 3 weeks to make this big, huge event happen. And we're saying goodbye to all of these people who we've worked very hard with alongside. Everybody else in the room knows what's been going on, because I've been talking to the other interns about it. Like, hey, do you think he's interested? Do you not think he's interested? We got really close. And so as I go to say goodbye to him, I say, hey, it's been really, really nice getting to know you. I hope our paths cross again in the future. Completely platonic. And I go in to hug him, and he whispers in my ear, he's like, man, I just feel like we missed such a great opportunity. I was done with the game. So I put my hand in between us and I was like, listen, if you haven't figured it out already, we need to talk about something. I am gay. And I watched as the color drained from his face. Apparently he didn't know this. And he just stammered there, sitting, and everybody else was bursting into laughter because this guy has been making a fool of himself, flirting with me unintentionally for 3 weeks. And he just stammers there, both in a little bit of humiliation and at the same time complete astonishment. And says, and all he's able to mumble is, I'm sorry. It's like, dude, it's all right. Come here, give me a hug. So I give him a hug. It's actually genteel and honest and sincere. It's a nice way to end things. We go off, we both say goodbye, and that's the last time I've ever seen him. He lives in New York now, he's a nice guy. I hope he's doing well. But in that moment, I bit my tongue because I knew it would completely ruin the moment, ruin the relationship, ruin everything. If I said the thing that was in the back of my mind, which was simply, if you ever do it again, I'm fucking you in the ass. Thank you very much.